I'm participating in Booktubeathon 2017. Hello everybody, I'm Roxy and this is Rockme BS. So I've talked in the past how I didn't really get readathons and cramathons and all that sort of stuff because it made reading seem like a chore, and I really didn't want reading to be a chore. However, last year, although I didn't participate in Booktubeathon, I saw a lot of the videos and everyone had such a great time and no one was really that worried with accomplishing the challenges. It was like very much about having fun and all that. And this year, seeing Ariel Bisset just so excited, who's of course the organizer, and she was so like just excited about the event and saying that this is just for reading, and the challenges were pretty great, and it just motivated me to join. I do realize though that it is going to cut into my Winter Wonderland TBR, which you can find here in the eye and of course down below, but that's a price I'm willing to pay because again it sounds super amazing. Plus, by doing this TBR I enter a sort of contest which will select random a winner for a box of books, and I would really love a box of books from Penguin. So yeah. Anyways, Booktubeathon TBR 2017. The first challenge is to read a book with the person on the cover. I chose Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. I eyed this on and off all during my stay in London and finally didn't pick it up, but I picked up a blind date with a book, and surprise surprise, it was this book, so I was actually really glad I hadn't bought it. And I will forever remember what the blurb said because it was just like so enthralling, and it said the relationship between a stoic woman and her sensei twice her age, kind of Murakami-esque but not as esoteric. It just sounded fascinating, and it's also very short. All the books I selected for this readathon are short because I love myself, so yeah, it looks perfect. The second challenge is read a book that you bought because of the hype. Now, I'm no longer in the business of buying books because of the hype. Last year I suffered so many terrible disappointments. However, there is one book that I became aware of because of the hype, and then I got it because a publisher which I really trust translated it into Spanish. However, I did buy the original version in English, but still, like, just seeing it from that publisher, it just sort of vouched for the book, if that makes any sense. It's The Girls by Emma Cline. So I've read and heard mixed reviews about this book, but the subject itself really interests me, so also I got it secondhand and it's a hard copy and it was so cheap. So challenge number 3 is read a book you can finish in a day. The book I chose is a Spanish translation of A Season in Hell by Arthur Rimbaud. He's a poet I pretty much like, although I don't know that much about him, so this is self-biographical. The print is very, very large and it's very, very short, so I think it's very easily manageable in a day, and it sounds fascinating. Like in the back it says like how he hates every job. It sounds very interesting, so yeah. Then challenge number 4 is to read a book with a character that's very different from yourself. For this challenge I selected Night Walks, again a translated version by Charles Dickens. This is part of the Penguin Great Idea series, and in Spanish it's translated by Taurus. So this is a collection of 5 essays that Dickens wrote while he was in London, and he was an insomniac and couldn't sleep, so he walked around the city and wrote these essays, just reflecting on the beauty yet the crudeness of it all, the horrible parts, the heartbreaking parts. You know, Dickens liked to write about like the poor, not so glamorous aspects of his England, and I think that's fascinating. Not only I think that Mr. Dickens is very different from myself, but also the realities he saw are very different from my own. Challenge number 5 is to read a book completely outdoors. So I think this is a great challenge for the Northern Hemisphere because it's summer there, but in Chile it's winter. Although we've had some sunny afternoons, so I think I'm going to go out and read in the afternoon, I picked purposefully a really short book because if it gets really cold for the last week of July, I am not going to freeze myself to death trying to complete this challenge. Anyways, I chose A Cup of Sake Beneath the Cherry Trees by Kenko. This is part of the Penguin Little Black Classics collection. It's number 11. It says in here, moonlight, spring blossoms, a woman's hair, a medieval Japanese monk reflects on idle moments and life's fleeting joys. So it also feels really appropriate to just read outside. Number 6 is read a book you bought because of the cover, and I chose this one because it was really like an instant buy because of the cover, and I just really want to read it. I've been wanting to read it for a couple of months now, and I have the perfect excuse, and this is Eat Me, A Natural and Unnatural History of Cannibalism by Bill Schutt. I was in London, I went to Hot Charts, which is a beautiful independent bookstore, and I was just like starting to walk around. I'm not kidding you, started, and I saw this book and I thought the color and the presentation was so damn beautiful. And also, like, all the information what the book is about is all in the cover. I really want to read this, so I think this one is one of the first I'm going to pick up for the challenge. The 7th challenge is always read 7 books, so you have to pick like an extra book, and my extra book is Rupture by Carol Ann Duffy. It's a collection of poetry, but it's one story about a couple and their romance and their relationship. Books that are not like romance books but are about relationships are so interesting because they really dissect like human nature and why we behave in certain ways, and I think it's fascinating. Let's see how I do. It's my first year participating in Booktubeathon. I'm excited. I'm also not super stressed out. I just want to enjoy the experience, and that's it. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out my channel in Spanish, which is here in the eye, along with all the other videos I've talked about. See you next time. Oh yeah, of course, let me know if you're participating in Booktubeathon, and if you are, like, what are you reading? Then the 4th, oh my god, the traffic! I don't know how I ever get anything done.